A DNA test meant to uncover ancestry, a lighthearted exploration of the past, but instead of tracing family roots, it unearthed a devastating secret. This is the story of how a single test unraveled a decade of lies and shattered a family forever. Chapter 1. The perfect family. James had everything he ever wanted: a loving wife, Emma, and a beautiful 10-year-old daughter, Lily. Their home was filled with laughter, weekend movie nights, and morning pancake rituals. Life wasn't just good, it was perfect. For their anniversary, James decided to buy DNA test kits for the whole family. He had always been fascinated by ancestry and thought it would be fun for Lily to learn more about her heritage. Emma laughed when he gave her the box. "You and your surprises," she said playfully. If only he had known that this surprise would break him. Chapter 2. The Results. Arrive. 3 weeks later, the email came. James was at work when he received the notification. Eagerly, he opened it, scanning through his ancestry results. Everything looked as expected. His family roots traced back to Ireland, just as his grandfather had always said. Then, out of curiosity, he checked Lily's results. That's when his heart stopped. The test showed that Lily shared no DNA with him. None. His hands trembled as he refreshed the page, hoping it was a glitch. It had to be. Maybe the test had been mixed up, maybe there was an error, but as he looked closer, he saw another name listed under paternal match. Someone he didn't recognize. Chapter 3. Confrontation. James rushed home early, his mind spinning. His perfect world was now a house of cards on the verge of collapse. When he walked through the front door, Emma greeted him with a smile. "You're home early. Everything okay?" she asked, sensing his tense expression. James held up his phone. The DNA results came in. Emma's smile faltered. "Oh? That's great. What did it say?" "It says Lily isn't mine." The color drained from Emma's face. She opened her mouth, then closed it again. Her eyes darted away. "James, I can explain." "Explain?" His voice cracked. "Explain how you lied to me for 10 years? How you let me believe Lily was my daughter?" Emma took a shaky breath. "I never meant for this to happen. I didn't know for sure. I hoped she was yours." James clenched his fists, his whole body shaking. "Who is he? Who's her father?" A single tear rolled down Emma's cheek. "You don't know him. It was a mistake. A one-night thing before we were married. I thought it didn't matter. You thought I'd never find out." James finished for her. Chapter 4. The aftermath. James didn't remember the rest of the night clearly. There was yelling, crying, doors slamming. Lily had come downstairs at one point, confused and scared. He had to force himself to smile at her, tell her everything was fine, when in reality, nothing would ever be fine again. He left that night, drove aimlessly, his thoughts a hurricane of anger and grief. He wanted to scream, to hit something, to wake up from this nightmare, but it was real. By morning, James had made his decision. Chapter 5. The hardest choice. A week passed, then 2. James stayed in a hotel, avoiding Emma, avoiding Lily. Every time his daughter called him dad over the phone, it shattered him. She wasn't his, not biologically, but she was still his in every other way. Wasn't she? Finally, he agreed to meet Emma at a cafe. She looked exhausted, her eyes red from crying. "James, please. You're still her father. Biology doesn't change that. She loves you. You love her." "But she's not mine," he whispered. Emma reached across the table, her hands shaking. "She doesn't know. She thinks you're mad at me. Please. Don't punish her for my mistake." James had never felt so lost. The betrayal burned deep, but so did his love for the girl he had raised. Could he walk away from her? Could he pretend he didn't care? He met Lily the next day at the park. She ran into his arms, giggling just like she always did. "I missed you, Daddy." And at that moment, James knew the truth. DNA didn't define love. Choices did, and he chose her. Epilogue. Moving forward, James and Emma divorced. Some wounds never fully heal, But he never stopped being Lily's father. He still picked her up from school, still tucked her in at night, still loved her more than anything. Sometimes life shatters in unexpected ways, but in those broken pieces, we can still find something worth holding on to. And James found his in Lily.